human body is an extremely complex combination of different systems all working together to keep you alive. There are multiple levels to the human body, ranging from the microscopic cellular level all the way to the physical level of your organs working together in different systems. There are many parts of your body that work without you even having to think about it, like breathing or digesting parts of your food. Fun fact! Your body passively makes up to 1 quart of spit per day.
Isn't that crazy?
Now let's get into what controls the human body. The brain. The brain is one of the most important organs in your body. It tells everything else what to do based on the electrical signals it gets from your nervous system. Did you know that the brain uses 20% of your body's energy? That means it does a lot of work. Your brain is made up of nervous tissue, which contains neurons and neuroglia. These cells allow electrical signals to travel, so your brain communicates and responds accordingly to your body's needs. Each part of your brain has specific functions and responsibilities. Some parts store memories. Do you remember when it first started, September? Others store how to communicate, and other parts store emotional responses. Because it does so much, protecting your brain is super important because damage to it can cause lifetime problems.
So always wear your helmet.
Some natural protections your brain has are the skull and some fluids that surround your brain. Now, let's make our own brains. Okay, so to make your own brain, you're gonna need 6 different colors of modeling clay. For 5 of the colors, you're gonna roll them out in long strips, and then for 1 of your colors, you're gonna make it into a brainstem. Each color of modeling clay is going to be a different lobe, and the reason they're in long strips is so that when you put them together, you'll be able to see the folds in the brain or the sulci. Now I'm going to assemble the brain, and then we'll talk about what each lobe does next. Now that you've assembled your brain, this is what it should look like. The different lobes are the frontal lobe, the temporal lobe, the parietal lobe, the occipital lobe, the cerebellum, and the brainstem. Frontal lobe is responsible for reasoning, planning, parts of speech and movement, problem solving, and emotions. The parietal lobe is responsible for senses, touch, pressure, and pain. The occipital lobe controls vision. The temporal lobe is responsible for recognition of hearing and memory. And the cerebellum controls and coordinates movements of the muscles. The cerebellum is also the earliest part of the brain to develop, which is why it can trigger your fight or flight response. The brainstem is what sends the electrical impulses from your nervous system to your brain.
The skeletal system is one of the core systems of the human body which keeps you moving around. It's what gives your body structure and also helps to protect some major organs. The human skeletal system is made up of tendons, ligaments, bones, and cartilage. This accounts for around 20% of your total body weight. Bones are also especially important for the formation of red blood cells because they form in the red marrow of your bones. Bones contain more calcium than any other part of your body. When blood calcium levels drop below what is needed, calcium is released from the bones so that the blood can be at proper levels for metabolic needs. When calcium in the blood is too high, the excess calcium is stored in the bone matrix. This is a simple visual of the skeletal system that I made using Q-tips stuck into modeling clay. You can see that the soft parts are where the joints would be, and the thicker parts of the Q-tips would represent the bones. So you can see here the ribs, whereas like the soft parts are like a knee joint, a hip joint, and even like an elbow joint.
Now let's get into the muscular system. The muscles allow your body to move and do things. The muscles are made up of specialized cells called muscle fibers, where their main purpose is contractibility. There are 3 types of muscle cells in the body. They're skeletal or striated, cardiac, and smooth. Skeletal muscle, which is attached to the bones, helps with movement. These muscles are under voluntary control. These muscle cells are striated, which means they have transverse streaks that are parallel to each other. These cells have the ability to act independently of other muscles. Next, let's talk about smooth muscle. Smooth muscle is found in the walls of hollow organs such as the stomach, the bladder, and blood vessels. These muscles act involuntarily, which means your brain tells your body what to do without you having to think about it. For example, that would be your digestive system. These cells are spindle-shaped, and they contract slowly and rhythmically. Lastly, cardiac muscle cells are found in the heart and also work involuntarily. Cardiac muscle cells have characteristics of both skeletal and smooth muscle. However, they do differ in shape. They're rectangular. These muscles are responsible for the contraction of the heart. To show how the muscles work with the bones, we're going to be doing an activity involving balloons. The materials you're going to need for this activity are long balloons, construction paper, or paper towel rolls. If you're using construction paper like we are, you're first going to need to roll it up like this to act like a paper towel roll would. You're going to need 3 rolls of construction paper. You're going to need one that's a little bit bigger in diameter and 2 smaller ones. These are the bones in your arms. You have the humerus, which is here, the ulna, which is here, and the radius, which is here. We connected these using the hard parts of Q-tips, but you can also use a paper clip. Make sure you tape on the inside so they don't fall out. That way you can make it move like this. And a quick side tip, for the balloons, make sure that you leave a little bit of the little rubber parts on each end and make the air in the middle so you have some tendons. This teal balloon represents the bicep, and that'll go on top of the humerus. And this yellow one is the tricep, and that goes below the humerus. We're going to start by attaching both the bicep and the tricep as if they were relaxed. When your arm is straight, the bicep is relaxed, so that's how we're going to attach it. Right now the bicep is relaxed, but when we contract it by pulling on one of the ends, you can see that it moves the arm. Next, we're going to attach the tricep. The tricep is relaxed when the arm is bent. Now that both the bicep and the tricep are attached, let's see how they work. As you can see, when the arm is straight, this balloon, the tricep, is loose, which means it's contracted. And the bicep muscle is relaxed. When the arm is bent, the bicep balloon is contracted and the tricep balloon is relaxed.